Welcome to the instructional video for the Chausson 33 LIne V697. It's based on the Fiat cab on a 2.3 140 brake horse. So behind the driver's door we have the gas system, so refillable. Basically you'll see there's a little bayonet there, just goes into there, slides on and then holds in place. And then when you come to fill it up, depending on which unit you go to and the filling station, they will have either a screw or a clip on, and that allows you to fill up the gas on the actual onboard tank that's supplied with it. Behind that we have the mains electrical socket, so this is your input for putting power to the vehicle. Below that we have then the grey water outlet, for that's any wastewater that you put down the sink or the shower. And then next to that we have the drain for the fresh water. So blue for fresh, grey for wastewater. We've got a vent then just behind for the heating system. You don't really need to do anything with that. And then we've got above that, we've got the toilet cassette area. So you press both buttons in, lift up the little handle here, and that will slide out the toilet cassette. We've got the little cap that needs screwing when I'm just pointing with my thumb to remove any of the waste, and the little orange button at the top for the waste vacuum. So make sure you press that, it will stop any splashbacks and allow it to come out free flowing. Slide it back in and make sure it's just in place just over there. Just locks with the key, the single key that locks all the external areas to the vehicle. On the back of the vehicle we have the full 2 bike rack. Pretty standard bike rack system, it's colour coded to this particular model. We've got the camera which is located high up there. Just make a point on the back when you're opening, make sure you obviously open that one first and then it will lock in place. And then on the back door itself we've got a little lever here which opens up that back door area. On both sides you'll see that they're built-in blinds and fly screens which will go up and down, and this is the same on the window blinds that we see when we come in. We've mounted the awning pole just up there, and on either side we've got a carbon monoxide detector and a smoke alarm, which you can see is nice and easily accessible just up there. With the doors open it will give you access to the understore area. So underneath this one, and I'll show you more when we come inside, is where you will find your batteries and all your electrical items. So that's found on the driver's side. And on this side we've got a storage area which is accessible from both here and above for your belongings. We've also got a main socket located in there, and then the floor, this floor, for the option of putting the table either here or into the front area, which I'll come on to. So making sure you close the doors nice and neatly there. That then takes us to the habitation side. To fill up the fresh water, this is where you would fill it up just there, and once it's full it will overflow. We've got your fridge vents just here, and it does come with the winter covers, and we've got fitted to this particular model the Thule awning, which I'll send a separate video of how to use that. We've also got an electric step, and the door then slides open and just clicks back in place. Just there we've got the switch to operate it both in and out, just located there. We've also got the little strip light which operates this long strip light just here, and we've also got a fly screen which when pulled across will secure any insects and bugs from getting in the vehicle. Forward of that we've got your diesel and AdBlue, so that can be found just underneath there, and it's the Fiat key to get access to the diesel. In here we've got underneath the side passenger seat we've got your toolkit, that's where that's located, and underneath this panel here is where the battery is located for the engine. We've also got the bonnet release catch located, and both windows on the sides come with the Rems blinds. They just slide along and go up, as you'll see nice and easily there, and then lock in place just at the top, just up there, and then gently do it, making sure that you just slide it back in place nice and easily to fold it back in. Make sure at the bottom that when it's pulled down you just click it just in place there, and that will secure in place. The front blind is a lifted blind, so that will come up from the front and slide down just like that. So quite straightforward, quite easy. Your fridge vents are these that just sit over for winter use onto the actual fridge vents themselves. So they're colour coded to meet the vehicle as well. To gain access to the bonnet, you'll need to just, in the middle, just above the Chausson sign, you'll lift it up and you'll see a little yellow lever. That will give you access to the underneath. And in here we've got oil, dipstick, screen wash in the corner, power steering fluid and brake fluid, and your water reservoir. Negative terminals and positive terminals can be clearly marked just there. And then when you come to shut it, you'll just release it down and that will secure the bonnet in place. The vehicle's fitted with LED daytime running lights, and they're in here, and has folding mirrors which can be electrically operated from the cab area inside. So moving to the inside of the vehicle, we'll start from the cabin area first. We can see here that we are fitted with steering wheel controls for the volume and answering the phone. We have the electric window switches, lock button and the mirror switches. We've got just down here, we've got a little gauge. Just open that door, which will tell us what the level of our gas system is, and that compartment under there is where you will find some Fiat fuses. Underneath we've got the steering wheel adjustment, which can be moved by pulling that lever backwards. That will pull the actual steering wheel in and out. We've got drinks holders, the unique build number for this one, manual gearbox. We've got the speed limiter and cruise control on the lower stick, indicators and lights on the top stick, and to the right we've got the windscreen wash, the wipers and the trip counter just on there. The exempt unit is just fitted here, and I'm going to send a separate video that we have shot to explain how that works to you. We've also then got the locking buttons, hazard lights, air conditioning, USB charging points, hill descent and traction plus buttons, which are all operated via your manual. We've got the passenger airbag and a compartment on the top that lifts up for storage, which you can connect through to your any USB connections in there. We've also got the tablet holder, and you just need to gently lift it up, pull down the lever at the side, and that will allow you to put a phone or any other device in there. Should you want to do that, just clip it back in place, just like that. We've got the sun visors just there, and you'll see on the driver's one, you've got your Fiat Camper Assist number should you need it. The seats themselves will swivel round, and to move it from the lock position, you'll just need to pull this lever back. Once it's in and moving around, then you can move it forward and backwards using the bar. Just obviously on this side, just make sure that you are away from the actual handbrake lever. And on the outside of each of the seats, we have the adjusters to raise the height of the actual seat itself. Armrest adjusters can be found here, and backrest adjusters can be found on either side, just there. Behind here, we have your fuses. So you have a bank of fuses to check should any of the power go, and it's nicely labelled for you there. And we have another main socket located just there. The two passenger seats, both seat belted, are just like so, and we have storage which can be opened by pulling these little levers up, and it shows you the little storage areas above the two rear seats. We've got little pockets at the front as well, and a smaller one in the middle on either side should you want to do that. We've got nets on the door, just make sure that there's enough clearance when the door's operating forward and backwards, and you open that door by pulling that lever, just pressing out, and that will allow it to just slide and then lock in place, such as that. On the kitchen area, we've got an extender piece, so it literally just locks in place, and then all you will do is just release either of them, just then down at the same time, and then the unit will slide back in place. You've also got another main socket that's located there. Control panel wise, so for those that don't know it, we've got the main master button. So turn that on. That will turn any power on that you've previously had. So you can then turn the lights on. The external all-in light, because that's what it's fitted with. The water pump, and again, everything will light up when you're doing it. And then we have the level controls. So this will give us the level control. Again, it tells us on the control panel here what we're looking for. So it will give you battery selections. It will give you adjustment hours. It will give you add-in minutes. Tell you what the sergeant system is. So you're kind of navigating it through. If you want to go into any of these options, then you just click the button. And that will allow you to change options from leisure to vehicle battery. We always advise that you do use the leisure battery. Again, so this is your navigation button to tell you what you can go into and what you want to do. So again, it's giving you your charging facility, it's giving you your battery condition. It talks you through it. So it basically navigates you around that main control panel. The main thing is obviously your lights within the vehicle are turned on. Your awning light, your power and your pump. So light switches, we've got a couple of switches above the door. Some in the rear of the vehicle, some just behind here, which will turn off the lower night lights and your bathroom light. And that one will turn on the little lights lower down there that you just see coming on and off. So that's that. To the side of it, again, we have your heater controls. And we want to turn that unit on by pressing the power button. So on this side, we've got the heating. On this side, we've got the water. So what we want to do is we want to then select what we want. So at the minute we're on electric. So again, what you'll see is when you select it, you'll see it illuminates. To turn it up or down, and you'll press the button just there. And that turns up the actual options on that side. Should you want to do that. And then this one, by pressing it, will allow you to select the option that you want. So on this side, we want to select the electric. And again, if we've got gas on, we'll want to select that. If you don't have the gas on, it will then tell you and it will flash as a fault. But the most effective way is to run it off electric if you've got electric, gas if you've just got gas, or you can run it on both on the system. So just select it as you see it there with both. Again, turning the temperature down is just the fan speed there. And then turn it off, you'll just press and hold it. And that will then shut the unit down and stop the vehicle from working on the heating. Gas is exactly the same, and the electric on the actual heater side of it. For the hot water, to turn up the hot water, you just press the button and it goes up. And then again, you've got your fuel source or your electric, depending on which one you want to do. So pretty straightforward on that side of it. Like I say, when you turn the unit and the power off, it will then source it and go back to the actual option that you've last chosen. So pretty straightforward for heating and hot water. Again, everything I'm telling you is in the manuals. So if you're unsure, you can revert to the heater and the hot water options. Again, to turn it down, you just turn it down just like that. Going into the kitchen area, we've got the tap. Again, just make sure that you swivel it up when you want to use it, and then you've got the button that goes from left to right. First of all, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pull it through your boiler. So once you've done that, you'll need to just flick it, the pump on, put it through to your hot, and then pull it through the boiler. Now underneath the actual oven unit, you will see that there is a little boiler drain valve, and you must have this in the correct position, otherwise the hot water will just drain straight out of the underneath of the vehicle. So make sure that this is set in the right position, and again it will literally just turn to drain and turn to fill up. So just make sure that you're aware of that being in the right position. It'll become quite simple. If you turn on the pump, water drops out of the drop valve just behind there underneath. It'll be in the open position, and like I say, turn it back to put it in the correct position. You've also got in here a couple of manifolds for the gas. So this is basically in the usable position at the moment. So make sure that you refer to that. You don't need to touch these unless you're told so by an engineer, but that's where your gas isolation points are located, underneath the oven in that lockable cupboard. The oven and the grill itself, pretty self-explanatory. So down for your grill, up for your oven, and then your oven will go from minimum to maximum just there. You've got an igniter that will ignite as you want to do it, and the middle position just there is the off position. Again, just making sure that if you're grilling, just leave that open to vent. When your oven, you can close it completely. And then on the top, we've got your 2 burner hobs, igniter just there. This one will work the right hand side one, this one will work the left hand side. Please follow the guidance and make sure that it cools down before you close those options. And again, make sure your tap's folded down before you close that option on there. Again, make sure that you refrain from putting hot pans on there as well. That stops anything from damaging the glass. We've got storage units in there. We've got your utensil area just in here. And then in the lower area, we've got a storage area, your pots and pans. And that is where the actual oven switch is for using the oven. So, before you go off, just make sure that they're all pressed in place. Just there, nice and easily. And then finally, you want to come on to your fridge area, and this is the last of the actual main components for the vehicle. You want to press it on by pressing this button here, and it will light up. So first of all, it will try and find your gas, and you'll hear it clicking. If it's no gas, you could then switch it to this option here for your electric. We're hooked up to electric at the minute, so it will just then light up the unit, as you see here. Nice and brightly. Freezer compartment, and then your fridge. And then the final option is the 12 volt. Now at the minute, because the engine's not running, this function won't be usable, and it will alarm as it does there. So let's switch it back. As soon as you start up the engine, it will allow you to select that. The next option here is the temperature that we want it, so from the warmest to the coldest. And then the last option on the right hand side here will revert to the gas reset. So if the gas fails and protects the actual boiler, the fridge, and cuts out, you will need to reset it, as it tells you on the sticker quite clearly at the side. That is that little switch just here. And then finally, to turn the unit off, press and hold it, and that is the unit completely turned off. So with the actual cushions all removed, you can then lift up the seat base, and that's just on a gas strut. You will find your main sergeant unit here. So one thing that you will need to make sure is turned on is this little switch if you want your heating to work, and this switch if you want your charger to work. If you press them in, they'll lose the LED, and you won't be able to use that facility. Underneath here, we've clearly marked your fuses for the back of the vehicle, and you've got your main RCD box, which is used there. You also, on these sergeant units, have a main shutdown button, so you could press that button there and it will shut it down completely for you. To the side of it, we've got your battery, which is located there, and more storage. On both of these seats, you've got a pocket of storage which can just be found on either side. Just place it back in nice and neatly for you, just there. And we've got blinds and fly screens which just pull up just on the windows for you there. The light switches in the rear just turn off with the little switches here, and again we're just pushing them little catches down and then lifting it up to give us access for the storage unit that is above our heads. When you're putting them back down, just gently does it so they clip in place. The roof light has a fly screen and a blind just located just there, and it is also an opening vent, so we press the button in and it lifts it up. It does have a few different stopping points, but then make sure that when you're driving away, that's in place just there. On the passenger side, again, we've got more storage and a couple more lights. So again, your storage can just be found there, and then the same fly screen and blinds on the windows. Forward of that, we've got your hiding point for the table, and we've just got a little locking point there that you need to remove to pull out the table. The table, like I mentioned earlier, will go into the floor either there or in the front, and we can find the table leg that is just located just in there, along with the fire extinguisher, your Fiat handbook, and the carpets for the cab area. Before I show you how to make the beds, let's go on to the bathroom area. And the bathroom area can be found in here. So we have our flush button and our indicator to tell us that the toilet is getting full. We lift up the toilet and the toilet can swivel around to different places. We have the blade valve, which will open the toilet cassette. So by sliding it to the back of the vehicle, we'll open it up, and then pulling it back towards the front of the vehicle will close it and allow us to move the toilet cassette from the area. You've got your shower screen and your shower just there. To get access to your sink, you'll just need to just push that, pull it down, and then we've got your tap just here with the cold and hot mixer taps just located on there. All you do is when you use it, just gently push it up. It'll go down the drain point just underneath, and then just click it back in place. The mirrors just push. Just get in to open, and again on that side, so you can have your little storage areas in there. We have a vent to ventilate the area just above your head, and we have some little lower down shelving points for your belongings in there. Towel holder and towel or dressing gown hook can just be found on there, and just simply open and close that. So I'm making the bed. I'm going to move all the cushions away and show you how to do that. So now we've got access to this underfloor here as well. Again, I can show you that just before I make the bed, and that's where the carpets are located. So to make the beds, what you'll need to do is lift both of these panels up on either side out of the way. Why are we doing that? Because we want to find the little posts that are located here, and they want to fit into the little fixtures on either side at the front and the back of that area. That's going to give us then the side support for the actual runners to slide out and give you that middle support for the bed. So that's how we want to do it, making sure that the support beams are at the either side. Bed wise, so you use the bases of the cushions. Again, if you want to turn them over, they are chamfered at the side, so it's up to you whether you want to use the seat bases or turn them up. But the opposite way, you'll need to flip them over, and then the middle one's just in the middle there. So that will show you how that's done. Pretty simple again, really. And there we go, we're all set back up for our daytime use. We've also got a little bit of storage I didn't mention earlier. Underneath that forward facing seat, just lifts up, a little handle that just pulls it up just there, and then when you put it away, nicely stores away. One thing I've just noticed, and I'll just update you on this, is if you want to change the electric, and I wasn't aware of it, but basically you just press and hold the button and you'll see that the power will go up from 1 to 3 depending on how you want it setting, and this is just the power output of the actual heater. It's the same on that. So on the water heater, if you want to then press the button, and that will change it. 1, 2 and 3 will light up depending on how strong 1, 2 or 3 kilowatt on the electric. So just press and hold it, and that's how that works. On leaving the vehicle, make sure that you press the power off. That will turn the power off to everything. And again, if you're not using it for any length of time, then you can hit that master shutdown button, which can be found underneath there. I hope you find this informative, useful, and helps you on your journey in your new motorhome. We look forward to seeing you on your collection day. Most importantly, we hope you enjoy your new motorhome. Thank you.